Hey guys, this is Jason
This is
Douglas.
Adam MacArthur, voice of Yuji Itadori.
This is Derek Snow, the voice of Shinra Kusakabe.
This is Phil Parsons, voice of Kenny the Ripper Ackerman.
It's Merc Nguyen. You're watching Voice of the Heroes. Take it away, Flea Boy.
What's good, everybody? You already know who it is and what it is. And if you don't, it's the one and only one Flea Boy Jetson. And you're watching Voice of the Heroes podcast. So if you're tuning in for the first time, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, click that notification bell so you don't miss any interviews or discussions with your favorite heroes and villains from around the world. And today, we got a huge special guest in the building. You might have heard him deliver his talents in video games or anime such as Taxi, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, Mashle Magic and Muscles, Monster High, Diablo 4, Batman Arkham Shadow, and he is currently in the new remake of Rurouni Kenshin. Let's welcome Darius Johnson to the show. How are you doing, my brother?
What's going on, everybody? Happy to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the show. Now, we got a lot to talk about today, so let's get right into it. There's been a lot of anime remix in you know, the new gen, we would say, right? And
Yes,
a lot
definitely.
of live action adaptations that, you know, didn't go too well over, you know, with the community and things like that. A lot of mixed reactions, I would say. But one thing out of that bunch was Rurouni Kenshin. That remake and those live actions on Netflix have hit very, very different. And you're a part of the remake. And man, from the animation, the storytelling, which is on beat with the original, the no disrespect to anybody from the past that worked on the dubbed English version, but I just feel like English dub has taken new heights in this new gen.
Oh, 1,000%.
With anime.
1,000%.
So, you know, and it's great to see you a part of that cast. For those
Thank you.
people that don't know, man, let them know who you are and let them know your role in the anime.
Of course, I play Sanosuke Sagara in the new Rurouni Kenshin. This is this guy right here. Boom. I have so much Sanosuke merch in here. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Look at this thing right here.
Oh,
I got
that's
more. I got so much stuff. I'm truly such a special part of my heart. I love being a part of this show. It has really helped me on my journey along just dubbing anime and helped me find my comfortability in the booth when I'm having sessions with this show specifically. Like, this is the first time I feel like for myself I found such comfort and ease with being able to play a character. The reboot means so much to me because I grew up with this show, man. Like, I remember seeing the audition and I'm like, is this what I think it is? And I adore this new reboot because it is like shot for shot the original series, but with, like, obviously, you know, we have new technology, you know, it's colored different, you know, some of the moments are a little bit more dramatic, which I appreciate because as much as I love the anime that I grew up with, and, you know, during the fight scenes we'd have like the jazz music and somebody on sax just going wild, like these shows have full orchestral, like, music behind these sequences, and they're incredible and detailed, and the drama is just so much there. Like, again, not to say it wasn't before, but like now it's just a different flavor that I personally am enjoying.
That's amazing, man. I'm super happy for you. I know this is probably gonna kick in a lot of doors for you because your performance has been going crazy, man. I haven't seen
Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't seen one negative review on this show. And to be honest, the live action, have you gotten to see any of the live actions on
Oh
the-
yeah.
Yeah, I've
So good.
even those are getting, you know, received very, very well.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's pretty dope to see. Now, will they continue the series like the full story, like the original? And do you
So-
think they'll go past it?
Hey, look, that's what I'm hoping. I don't know. All I know is we just wrapped season 2, and we'll see. I would love to see this story fully told. You know, I want to see all these moments that we've never got to see, what we've maybe seen or read in the manga, but like, I want to see these stories fully colored, fully acted out, fully, you know, for the audience.
Yeah, me too. I'm not even gonna lie. And I think there's a lot of story to be told. It has a great fan base, a great community behind it. Speaking of communities and fan bases, I know conventions have been the thing for voice actors. Have you
Yeah.
recently been to any since your role as Sanosuke? Sanosuke?
Um, I've done a few. I'm more of a host, so what I try to do is I try to reach out to conventions and just say like, "Hey, I'll host,
Mm.
and I'd love to host a panel." And I'm like, "I'll bring you the voice actors because I know the community. I love the community." I'm like, "I'll bring you the voice actors because I'm more of a host, and I know that while there are people that enjoy this show, there are fans that might be looking for more of something in like the Jujutsu Kaisen realm or the Demon Slayer realm. And I respect that. I'm like, let me shine where I know I can shine. And I believe that's like hosting and being able to uplift others and bring them on panels and let the audience hear from our perspective.
That's I would actually love to see you host a panel because the magic that you put in, for those who don't know, this is the guy behind all the magic promo that you hear on Nickelodeon. And I didn't know that until I was going through your Instagram to, get ready for the interview, things like that, get a little backstory from you. See, basically the person that I'm interviewing besides the characters that we know you play.
Yeah.
So I've seen you like going to the booth, and at first I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. And then when you said, all right, let's see how it turned out. And then we see how the actual magic unfolds. Man, that's why I do what I do. I love behind the
Yeah,
scenes
man.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that.
why
So tell us a little bit about that.
I love doing those videos, man, and I'm gonna do more because I want to shed light on that. Promo is such an interesting kind of section in the voiceover industry because we'll do it, they'll air it, and then it's gone, and it's so quick. It's so quick, and promo isn't this thing where. You thought like voice actors were kind of these hidden figures that were like behind the characters and no one knew who played these voices. I'm like, promo is even more hidden because it's just this voice you hear, but you see, SpongeBob on the screen and you're focusing on SpongeBob versus, what you're hearing. But it's like, you ever stop and think that's somebody's doing that job. So yeah, it's been a true blessing in my life, man. I've been doing this for almost 3 years now. And I've done over 100 promos from Paw Patrol to Rubble and Crew to Tiny Chef to Smurfs to Young Dylan to the Really Loud House to different like Day of Play things for Nickelodeon, Paramount, their 90s channel. And I'm really excited because right now I'm currently doing the 2025 Kids Choice Awards. Not all their promo, but like a big portion of their promo for the awards. And I got to know like certain things about the awards before they even came out. It's all like announced now, like Tyler's hosting and Jack Black's getting an award. But like these are all like little things that like I knew before they announced it. And I was like, should I know this information?
That's pretty dope. Did you grow up watching Nickelodeon?
Bro, I bleed orange. Like, yo, like Nickelodeon, it's my, like, that is my, like, happy place for real. Like,
what was your top 3 cartoons from Nickelodeon?
Oh, man, top 3. Rugrats is like literally got to be my number 1 because that show, like, has such importance in my life. Like, it plays such a huge role in like, my, like, comedy. Like, it's super funny, man. I gotta say Rugrats, Hey Arnold, and then I think I gotta go SpongeBob. Like, I know I gotta go SpongeBob. Like, there are so many others. Those are like animated, my animated, because if I throw Keenan and Kel in there, somebody might have to get out. Somebody might have to sit out.
I might be seeing, I think, one of them at Oklahoma Comic-Con. I think.
Oh yeah, Kel.
Yeah, Kel is going. Yeah, Kel is actually going to be in Oklahoma Comic-Con.
I figured he be going to the cons. I be seeing him, y'all. It'd be dope.
That's pretty dope. Yeah. Did Nickelodeon inspire your comedic career?
Oh,
being
yeah,
a comedian?
1000%. I mean, just going back to what we were just talking about, Keenan and Kel, like literally one of the biggest inspirations in my life. Like growing up and seeing two young black men just being able to like embrace comedy and just be fools and have fun. Like no questions asked. I was like, I want to do that. That's what I want to be. I want to do that, you know, hence like why I don't just do voiceover. You know, I do the on camera, I do theater. I'm a stand-up comedian, you know, like whatever. I always tell people whatever's going to pay the bills, but you know, like the truth is all those things just fulfill me, man. Like they give me a high, and I just like, I have to perform. Like that's in my soul. Whether it is at the mic, whether it is on stage, I have to be performing.
How did you develop that, and what chose that path for you? What was the moment where you was like, was it during that time watching Kenan and Kel, or was it another incident where you was like, no, this is what I want to do. This is who I want
Yeah,
to be.
no, that's a great question. Great question, man. Cause funny enough, man, I mean, like going through the timeline, like I remember I was in 4th grade. I auditioned for a musical. I remember walking up to the stage. I had the script in my hand, and it was like, all right, like we just had like 3 lines. And they were like, all right, whenever you're ready, like, you know, say your line. The first word was the word it. I could not get that word out of my mouth. I was like, yeah. I couldn't get it out. And they were like, great, student number 2. Like, you know what I mean? They were like, you will have maybe 1 line, but we need all the kids we could get. But I remember doing it, and I was like, oh man, like we did, you know, a musical, and I was like, this is fun. It still didn't give me the bug, but I liked it. And then when I was in 7th grade, we had a drama club. I don't know why, but I wanted to join the drama club. And like, I was such a bad kid in the drama club. I was just a nuisance, man. I was just like causing a ruckus, man. And the woman that ran the drama club, she is like everything to me, because she watched this kid who acted like he didn't want to like do it, but she was like, I know you're acting out because like you want to be noticed, you want to do this, you want to be seen, and so I'm gonna make you seen. And like didn't kick me out the club, made sure I was in the show, then brought me to a summer camp, and then just continued to look out for me for like years to come. But like even still, I wouldn't say I still really caught the bug, but I was putting all of these pieces together. And then I remember when I was in 10th grade, and I was having this conversation with my biology teacher, and she was talking to me about, she was like, I don't know how we got in this conversation, but we were having one about what we want to do in the future. You know, like what do we want to do post high school? And I was like, I love cooking. And I was like, I think I want to be like a chef, or, you know, be an actor. Like those are both things that I find interesting and I might want to do. And she told me, well, you got to think about where the money is. You got to think about where's the money. The money's going to be in, you know, culinary, like doing culinary arts and getting a degree and getting this and getting that. And I went, boom. I think I just in this moment figured out what I want to do, because I don't do anything in this world for money. It's not about the money for me. It's about the art. It's about what fulfills me. It's about what brings me happiness. Would I be happy as a chef? Probably not as happy, but I do love food. But I mean, that moment, I'll never forget that moment, because I was like, oh, it's people out here still with that mindset of like, what's going to, you know, help me bring home the bacon, which, hey, respect. But at the same time, that's not who I'm about. I'm about fulfilling myself, fulfilling my spirit, fulfilling my soul.
Yeah, and I 100% agree with you, because I've been down that road, you know, where I've done things or done jobs for the money and been completely miserable. And now it's like, you know, I'm at the age where I just want to do what I want to do that makes me happy. And if I can get money doing that, then hey, that's a good thing. So I really, really relate to your path, man. So what was your first, you know, big gig, or your first like spotlight gig?
Voiceover wise?
No, acting in general. Like, what really put you on the map where you was like, okay.
I mean, yeah, no, I want to say voiceover. It definitely like was voiceover. I mean, You know, it's funny because I feel like we get so many different firsts. You know, like I had a first when I was in grad school, you know, doing an animated thing. I had a first when I booked my first thing that like really was paying me consistently. And then like I would say, but when I moved out to LA, I would say the first thing that I felt like, oh snap, like this is big to me. It was being a part of Monster High, man. Monster High. Yeah, that.
Hey, Monster
Yeah.
High.
Because that came as a surprise. And I'll never forget. That's one of the few auditions I'll never forget. Because that was one where I was like, you know what? I get this character. I get him. And I'm just going like play. I'm just going ad lib. I'm going to do this. I'm just going play. And I took inspiration. One of my favorite archetypes in comedy in general, is the fool, the dunce, the guy who is misunderstood, the guy who's a little oblivious, right? I don't even like to always, I don't even really like to say the dumb character. Like I like to say oblivious, you know, the guy who's like just there, he's there to have a good time. You know what I mean? Like everything goes over his head, he's there to have a good time. That's who this character is that I play, and the character's name is Barkamedes. And I really took inspiration from Cole from Martin, because that's one of my favorite sitcoms.
I love
and
that.
Cole is one of my favorite characters, and it's just like he's always so happy, and he's there to have a good time, and everything is going over his head, and he's just clueless. And that's how this character is. And so it's one of those auditions that I'll never forget, because I was like, oh, I'm right at home with this. I know exactly who he is, and I know other things that he would say. So let me like play around and give you some other things that I think he would say, you know?
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that inspiration right there, man. You brought it back with Martin. Man, you definitely brought it back with Martin. Now, you know, the strike is officially over. But for a while, we couldn't talk about video games, especially, you know, voice actors couldn't promote some of the stuff that they was currently in, which I'm not going to lie, which really hurt the video game industry for a minute, because
1,000%.
you know, it was hard to promote some of these games, especially with the talent that was behind it. But you were in one of DC's latest video game releases, Batman Arkham Shadow, that dropped, you know, sometime late last year, 2024. DC has now undergone the scope of the big juggernaut it used to be in the video game era.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, we had the Batman trilogies, things like that. This one kind of fell a little short with fans. I think it was because of the VR system, though.
Yeah, you know, they went for something different.
Yeah, a lot of people don't play VRs like that. But my thing is, Marvel is really starting to heat up with Marvel Rivals.
Yeah,
they just announced the new fighting game for Marvel, Tokon, Fighting Souls, and multiple other Marvel games are in development right now. What do you think DC could do to match that excitement Marvel has going on right now for the gaming community?
I mean, with a lot of these companies, they're doing what they're like, history repeats itself, man. Everybody's looking at what else is going on in the world, and they making a carbon copy. And that's just that's America, kind of like, I hate to say it, man, but it's like, you know, when I saw Rivals, I was like, oh, Marvel Overwatch. And then literally Overwatch made their own version where it was like Rivals. And so I'm like, and you know what? I ain't mad at nothing. I'm like, why should we not have all this? Why should we not? The new Marvel game literally looks like a DBZ fighter. Great. I don't care. I'm not talking smack on it. I'm like, yeah, you know, I do want my version. Bro, we've been begging for like, remember for years when we was begging for a Mortal Kombat version of a DC game? Like, or DC, you know what I mean? Like a DC Mortal Kombat. And then we got it and we were like, this is amazing.
And it was one of the best too. Injustice was amazing.
Justice is great, which, you know, they talking about making a new one, but it's like, I'm not mad at people making their copies. So I would say, like, look at what is out there, you know, what is out there, what is gaining traction, how are these things working? Like, literally, the Spider-Man games. The Spider-Man games are great. You're going around, you're doing missions, you got a skill tree, but what is it that is, you know what I mean? It's like, what is it that is what is it that makes it special? I guess. In a way, it sounds like I'm being like, just copy them. I'm like, no, but there is something that is a factor, a main factor in a lot of games, and I'm like, let's just see what that factor is, and maybe add a little bit of that spice. You know what I mean? Going back, like, like if it's a recipe, like, oh, if everybody is making this amazing one recipe for, I don't know, like a cake, and you're like, oh, everybody's putting cinnamon in their cake. You know what I mean? But then they got different cakes, but everybody's putting cinnamon. Maybe I might add a little cinnamon in mine, because like people seem to be liking cinnamon right now. Like, I don't know, I might not be the best person to ask, but I'm like, hey, look, there is certain things in the gaming industry right now that are gaining traction. And I think it's up to them to like either choose to or not to study those things and add a little bit of that spice into whatever they're creating next.
I 100% agree with you, because I believe if DC was to announce something like an Elden Ring version of their game,
Right.
like something like a Dark Souls type genre where, the bosses are really difficult to fight.
Yeah.
Not even just the bosses, just the minions are really difficult. A really difficult game like that, I think that would draw something. And also any type of superhero MMO or something like that. Like, I think a new version of DC Online would be amazing. So I agree with you. Now, if they were to announce some kind of huge DC game, who would you like to voice in that game and why?
DC wise, who would I like to voice?
Yeah.
Man, so many characters I love, and I'm like, I feel like they're out of my age range.
So which one you think best fits you? Who you think best fits you?
I love my favorite DC villain, and I would love to play him. I feel like I got a Funko of him somewhere. Is Black Manta. He's my favorite villain. I would, and my boy, shout out to my boy Kane. He played Black Manta in Injustice 2. And I knew this man for like a good 2 years. And then he randomly posted it one time, was like, hey, Throwback Thursday to when I played Black. I was like, bro, you was Black Manta? What? I love Black Manta. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Young black man, everybody think I would probably say this guy right here.
Hey, Static Shock.
You know what? Like,
I can actually definitely hear you as Static Shock. I'm not even gonna lie. Now that I think about it, because your voice as your character in Monster High, maybe a little less. You know what I'm saying? Like not what's the word? Oblivious, like you said, and a little more, grounded, could work. I do.
Everybody want they shot at Static, and I respect it. I want to go somewhere else. I want to play with something. Actually, let me throw another one at you, because this is one I was like, there's another one on. I was like on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. But I say it all the time. Robin. Robin, man. Damian.
Which one?
Damian Wayne.
Damian
Wayne.
Oh.
Yeah, yo, give me the sword. Give me the sword.
Give
me the Ra's al Ghul.
Damian I love Damian Wayne.
Yeah, because he's got that chip on his shoulder, man, and I like that.
And I would like to see more stories flushed out with him.
Me too.
One thing DC I will give DC credit for is their animation movies. Their animated side of their movies has always been huge.
Yeah.
Great. Like every single one of them.
Yo, even that new Batman series, the Cape Crusader, phenomenal.
Oh man, on Amazon Prime.
Phenomenal.
Yes, that was very good. Matter of fact.
So good, man.
Yeah, that actually was very good. Now let's switch gears a little bit, right? We talked about DC. Let's go to the Marvel side of things. Would you be interested in voicing a Marvel character? Because it seems like you're a big DC guy, right? Your favorite character is Mantis. And then, you got the Funko of Static Shock, things like that. So what would that list consist of if you was... Oh,
let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted, because while Black Manta is my favorite DC villain, this guy right here is my favorite comic character in comic lore.
Oh,
my man Venom, bro. I love me some Venom, man. I love this guy. Like, obviously Venom is such a you know, in any iteration that someone plays him, he's always going to be some type of distorted or creature voice or something like that. And I don't know if, I'm not saying I can't do it. I don't know if I would do it or could get cast as Venom over people that really specialize in that. And I really respect those who specialize in, you know, creature voices. I love Venom though, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so many, once again, like so many great characters.
Because you know X-Men.
You know what? Yeah,
97.
X-Men is my favorite. So X-Men is my favorite series, and I would definitely love to. God, again, so many.
What about
So
Bobby?
many great characters.
Bobby
Actually, you know what?
How about
What's his
Iceman?
name? Spike.
Ooh.
If they brought back Spike, bro.
That that is crazy. They should
Yeah.
X-Men Evolution. I completely forgot about Spike.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Spike, Toad, Quake, any of those. Again, like I'm not the type of dude that's I need to be the main. Like, yo, let me get the claws, let me Wolverine. I'm like, nothing wrong with that, but I'm like, I just geek out on all these other characters like Spike, who've kind of got a little glimpse of like their story, but I'm like, nah, like let's flesh Spike out. I mean, come on, related to Storm, his mutation was so interesting. How it evolved, like he had an evolution to his mutation. It was crazy, man.
Matter of fact, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed they haven't even revisited him in the comics.
Yeah.
Even recently in the comics, like Storm has her own run right now. He could have made some type of appearance. We haven't seen him in a very. That's interesting. That's an interesting choice. Now, this part of the show, right, is called recommendations. Usually, what I do for all my heroes out there who, you know, looking for something to watch or need something to watch, anime wise or whatever genre they choose. I ask my guests about a couple of shows I'm even unfamiliar with. And the reason why I do this, right, because I got the privilege to interview Jim Ferranda. And, you know, I just happened to ask him, like, hey, you got any recommendations? And he put me on to Astoria, Wand and Shield, or Wand and Sword, excuse me. And man, that was such a good anime. One of my favorite animes of last year. I really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. And now what I've been doing lately with every guest, I ask for a recommendation and I check it out myself. Like I literally sit there, you know, because I'm always watching some type of stuff on TV. So it's great for me to sit there and, you know, not only hear the talent that I just interviewed, like, man, that's Darius or that's Jim. Like I get hyped up when hearing that. So now we basically get to the part of the show where we're gonna ask you about 2 anime shows that I'm gonna recommend that's on your catalog, your body of work, which is Undead Unluck, and the other one is Odd Taxi. I try to choose 2 different, very different ones from your catalog. That way, you know, the audience gets, you know, some action and some comedy. So tell us about these shows and why you would recommend them.
Yeah, Undead Unluck. Let's start with that. Undead Unluck is a wild ride. I love Undead Unluck because it has this story of those who have powers or otherworldly gifts that kind of hinder their own life in a way. You know, it makes their own life difficult. Similar to if anybody has watched Gen V, the boys spinoff, it's very similar to that idea of like, I have this gift, but it's a nuisance to my life. And there's a bunch of different characters that all have these gifts that all begin with un. And so there's Undead Unluck, which Undead is one character, Unluck is one character, and they all have real names. You know, like Undead his name is Andy, but you know, these are all kind of like code names in a way. And Undead is undead because he cannot die. Unluck is this girl who, like, if she touches you, she will give you bad luck. And depending on the amount of physical contact or how intimate the touch is, that can increase the amount of bad luck.
Yo, you already sold me once you said something like Gen V. I'm not gonna lie,
it's
this
very
sounds
much
very,
Gen V.
very interesting.
And
so they
like,
have powers.
Yeah.
Oh, is it like X-Men type powers where they're born with it, like it's a, in their genes, or is it something that they're giving or they get?
I want to say they develop it. I'm blanking. I want to say they develop it at a young age too, and they don't like know. And so these like things just start happening. There's a character, my favorite character, actually. I'm gonna do a little shout out. Pull it right here from my wall. So there's a character named Chikara. It's my favorite character, played by the incredible Kevin Rivera. That's my boy. He's one of my best friends out here. And Chikara is unmoved. I want to say that is his. Kevin, don't kill me if I'm saying it wrong. But Chikara's thing is he can like freeze things in real time. Like he can stop things. And he basically like I'm trying not to say too much because I don't want to spoiler alert, but like him discovering his powers is like one day things around him just stop moving and he's like and so I will say, without spoiler alerting anything, for the most part, a lot of these people discover their powers at very, very, very unfortunate moments. Incredibly unfortunate moments that cause a lot of trauma. So the show also like has a level of gratuity, and I love that. So
tell us a little about your character.
So I play a character named Unseen, who is kind of more on the opposite side of our heroes. So really quick, a lot of those who I mentioned, the characters that have these unmove and undead and unluck, and they are all part of a union called the Union, and they are given missions to go out and either do the mission or fail the mission, and they only have a certain amount that they can fail. It's a whole thing. But there's another group that are kind of the antagonists that are also, have this whole and then whatever their name is. So my character is Unseen. He has the power to kind of basically be invisible. He has a third eye, so as he closes his eyes, he can become invisible, but he can see through his third eye.
That's interesting.
Yeah, funny enough, the character is also an actor. His dad was an actor, and his dad was kind of like a C-list actor. And so his dad never made it, and so he's like, I'm gonna make it. But he's kind of like a young, he's young and still kind of I would say like still trying to kind of like fight the world, kind of like, a little, he's got a fire under him that's kind of getting in his own way, I'll say, without saying too much. And yeah, no, a super dope character because he's a little more on the villainous side. So it's super fun to just play a villain.
That's so dope. Yo, heroes, let me know in the comment section. Have you seen Undead Unluck? And if you have, let me know how you felt about it. I'm definitely going to be checking it out. He sold me when he said it's like Gen V, because Gen V, for those who know me, know that's one of my favorite new shows.
Yeah, yo, Gen V, like, just like low key, almost slightly, I like more than the boys. Just because I love that, so like,
for that.
Gen V is like a dark Sky High. And I love Sky High.
The main protagonist, Shorty with the blood bending type abilities. I forgot her name. Oh man, what was her name? I can't remember. I'm blanking. But man, she's the one. She's one of one, man. She's the truth.
Yeah, nah, for real. She's cool.
The truth, man. All right, so now these next questions are basically universal questions. We ask all our guests these questions on the show. Who are your top 5 fictional characters of all time? You can go through books, you can go to comic books, you can go anime, shows, cartoons, movies, wherever you want to go.
Man. Oh my god.
But you could.
I mean, I gotta
choose
go my
5.
favorites then. You know what I mean? Like you gotta go. All right, number 1. Look, I'm about to. By the end of this podcast, you will see all my Funkos, man.
Let's go.
I gotta go top number 1, day 1, Gengar.
I love it.
If you could see this studio right now, I lost count at like 15. There's so many Gengar things in here, man. There's so much Gengar stuff. Like, he's everywhere. He's everywhere. I love him.
Hey, I love it. Matter of fact, talking about Pokemon, how did you feel about them retiring Ash and Pikachu? Because I see you got the Ash Ketchum hat in the back.
I do. Yeah, as a 90s kid, at first I was like, wait, what? But I'm like, let's see where they're going. Then I watched Horizons.
Horizons is kind of peak. I'm not gonna lie.
Horizons
it
is
kind
the
of brought me
Pokemon.
back to Pokemon.
Horizons is the Pokemon that we've needed for over a decade now. Horizons is incredible. Oh my god. Horizons feels like they did a perfect balance of it's for us, but they're like, but we know kids still need to be into it. So like, here's stuff for the kids. Like there's certain things in it, like, you know, like the one character who like streams, you know, I was like, that's for the kids, you know, enjoy that one. That's a little shout out to the kids. But I'm like, there's so much of it that is the groundedness and it feels like the first series that I've seen that will be like, we're going to have Pokemon from this region and this region and this region. Yes, we're in Paldea, but like, we're going to have this and this. They figured out the formula. They're like, we're going to need Pikachu still in it. We're going to need somebody to have a Charizard. But beyond that, you know, we're going to have Pokemon from here, there, everywhere.
Do you think Ash should make a cameo maybe later on in the season?
Yeah, I think so. Because
I just can't see him being gone for good.
They've speculated where the timeline is, and a lot of people have speculated that like, oh, it jumped. I don't know, and I don't know if it was ever confirmed. A lot of people have speculated that it has jumped, and Ash is an adult now. I don't know.
I would like to see Ash return some type of way, man. I understand why they did it. Sometimes you got to move on, but I just feel like, man, taking Ash out of Pokemon is like taking Ichigo out of Bleach or Naruto out of Naruto. Like, I feel like he, you know, even though people really are for the Pokemon, like that's what people are watching it for, but I felt like he played such a pivotal role in that series. So that would be your number 1, right? Gengar. Who would be number 2?
Gengar. Oh man. All right, Gengar. I love Reptar. He's right here. He's somewhere. Oh, I took him off. Where my Reptar at? I had a Reptar somewhere.
Oh, so
I
you
know
going
exactly
straight
where he is.
Pokemon?
No. Reptar is Rugrats.
Oh, Reptar, the dinosaur. Toy.
Yeah, he's like Godzilla. I feel like a cartoon Godzilla.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you talking about Pokemon.
Nah.
Reptar, you're talking about the old school joint, Tommy's toy, I think.
Yes, I love Reptar, man. All right, think about my favorites. The Billy and Mandy series. There was a character that only did 2 episodes and took the world by storm, and he's one of my favorite cartoon characters on the face of this planet, and that's Fred Burger. I love
Burger.
Fred. He's a little green. He's like a green little elephant. Like he has an elephant trunk. He's a little like pudgy little guy, and he will annoy the crap out of you. But I love him. He could never annoy me. I love him with my whole heart. Fred Burger.
That's an interesting choice. I gotta Google that one.
Yeah, Fred Burger. All right, I need to get some like superheroes or something in there.
You can also do movies and stuff like that, and books.
Like anything, not just animated.
Anything you can do, anything. Like I know one of mine's of all time, just to give you an example, is Maximus from Gladiator.
Okay.
Oh my God, you like one of my favorites. So you can go anywhere you want, but you got 3. You got Fred Burger, something like that, right?
Fred
Reptar,
Burger, Gengar, Reptar. I have to say, the gang from Always Sunny.
The gang from Always Sunny.
That is because I can't choose one. It's the main characters, but as a group, they call themselves the gang, and that's one of my favorite shows. It's set in Philadelphia. That's my
What's
jam.
the name of it?
Always Sunny. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's a sitcom, and they are basically just the worst people, and it's hilarious. It
How
kills
I
me.
never seen this with Charlie Day.
I got them too. I got one of them too. Charlie Day.
Yeah, how I never seen this.
Oh man, you have
It was
to.
17 seasons too.
Oh, it's the
My
longest running sitcom
God.
in history. It's the longest running sitcom in history. Yeah, they've had mad people on the show, man. They had mad people on the show. Yeah, it's an incredible show. They have a podcast. They got I think a whiskey. I think they made a whiskey or a bourbon, something like that. They made a drink. They're great, man. They're great guys.
Oh, rest in peace. It had my boy Lance Reddick on there.
Yeah.
Tiffany
Yeah, man.
Haddish. Yeah. Man.
And then all right, last but not least, there's so many, but like I was literally like, wait, what are my favorite things? And I'm like, oh my god, I have to say Sora. Gotta say Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
You know what's interesting that
And I'm messing up because I didn't put Naruto, and he should still be on there because he's my favorite protagonist, my favorite anime protagonist, because he's the most that reminds me of myself. So Sora and Naruto share a spot.
I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking the other day, right, and I came across something from Kingdom Hearts, and I said, I don't know why one of the biggest missed opportunities that Disney, because Disney owns Kingdom Hearts, right?
Right.
That's who, like, why never we got any type of movie or animated or anything?
I mean, here's the thing, though. There's been talks about it, but there's certain things that's like, if you touch this, it needs to be gold.
Yeah.
If you touch this, and personally, I don't know if I want them to touch it, because if they take Haley Joel Osment out of Sora and Chris Pratt is playing Sora, I'm a have a conniption. I'm a lose it. I will lose it. Haley Joel Osment created Sora to me. I mean, also the artists and the writers, but it's like he brought such an essence to Sora that I'm like, nobody should be playing Sora but him. So I'll say that.
Hey, I agree with you, man. That's an interesting one. And matter of fact, maybe that's what I'm going to do today. I'm definitely going to send him an email to see if I can get him on the show, because that is such an iconic character not to even at least try to get him on the show. That's a good one right there. So now we're going to move along. Those are his top 5 fictional characters of all time. Now we're going to dumb it down one, and we're going to hit the Mount Rushmore list of voice actors. These could be your peers. They could be people who inspired you. They could, I done heard some interesting ones. I done heard people, put Will Smith in this, or Robin Williams, or, something like that. So you can go wherever you want, as long as we keep it voice actor. I even heard people put the guy who, what was his name, that used to do the old school trailers, in the land.
Oh, Don LaFontaine.
Yeah. I even heard people put him in the Mount Rushmore. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you, what is your Mount Rushmore of voice actors?
Yeah, again, like just incredibly difficult. But I have to go with a Mount Rushmore of people that got me to where I'm at today. People that have inspired me to be where I am today. I got to go with, I'm going to save the best for last, but I'm going to go with starting number 1, Kevin Michael Richardson. That man, I mean...
Yeah,
that man's range is out of this world. His range is out of this world. He's done so much. He's so inspiring. He will. If you could get, he's got my girl to geek out in voice acting, and she's not even like big in voiceover, but she's like, how is he doing? I was like, he'll bring you to tears and do such a beautiful, dramatic performance, and then he'll play the principal on American Dad and be like running around the halls butt naked, with, you know, his, you know, and his draw or whatever, you know, just doing stupid. He's just so funny. Then he's played Barney Rubble. He's played the Joker. Oh my God. He's incredible. And he has an amazing on camera, like, career too, you know? So Kevin Michael Richardson, man. Let's go Cree Summer. 1000%. She paved the way. Love that woman. Everything that she's done. She does not get enough credit, man. Love that woman. Okay. I gotta look at some people who have like put me where I'm at today. And I gotta like give them like their flowers. I gotta give a huge shout out, put them up there, Craig Lee Thomas. Craig Lee Thomas is currently Superman in DC Dark Legion.
Yeah, he is.
He is the face and the guy you see during the Helldivers 2, that whole that whole sequence, that whole motion capture, beautifully depicted sequence, that is his face. But I mean, he has an incredible career beyond those things, both on camera and voice acting. He has done so much. He's in Honkai Star Rail, and he was my first coach. He was my first voice acting coach. I worked with him for years. He's the one that showed me how to break into commercial voice acting. He did my first demo with me. He just had so much faith and belief in me. He recently sent me a video, and it was a commercial that I did on the radio, and he goes, "I see you." And I'm like, how do you know that's me? How do you even know that's me? But it's like that, I just dissected that moment, and I was like, that's an incredible moment, because it's like my teacher knows his students and knows what he knows my quality and knows what I sound like and knows what like my commercial reads sound like, and he's like, oh shit, that's Darius, you know, like, so I got to give him his flowers, man. I love that man.
You got one more.
I only got one more?
Yeah,
oh my
one
God.
more. That's what I'm saying. This list is hard, man. I know you want to give everybody their flowers, but you got one more. So many goats out there too, huh?
Okay, well then I gotta go back and say, like, I gotta go back. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna do this and then give our honorable mention. So, my VO hero, the one who inspired me to get into voice acting, is John DiMaggio. I love that man. I love everything that man does. He is one of the biggest people behind I Know That Voice. You know, he helped create that documentary. That's a documentary that I watched, and I was like, why am I not doing this? Why am I not doing voiceover? I continue to watch his career, and he just continued to inspire me, make me laugh, make me just feel all the things. Like, again, another great, incredible actor who will bring you to tears, who will terrify you, and then who will have you rolling on the ground, dying of laughter. He's a renaissance man to me, and that man also can sing, you know, and like, and anything that he gets to sing in is just like super funny, man. He's incredible, man. And one of my first gigs that I got to do out here, I got to play a character on an episode of Inside Job, and I knew he was in part of the show, so I was like, oh, dope. But then the episode that I did, usually when you do animation, they'll have you do your character, but then they're like, we got these like two other characters that have like one line, and we're going to have you be like student number 3. So I did that. I did student number 3 in this classroom scene, and I just said like, oh, Captain, my Captain. But John DiMaggio's character was the teacher, and I said that, and he screams at me like, sit down, maggot. And it was like, recording that moment, like, literally brought me to tears, because I was like, this is the man that got me here, and I get to do this, like, you know, I didn't get to do it in real time with him because he had already recorded, but still, to hear his voice come through my headphones, and it's like, he's going to say that line after I say something. Our characters are talking. It's like, just blew my mind. So that meant the world to me. And then I gotta give an honorable mention to Kat Susi. She is like probably another one of my like top favorite I don't even want to say female voice actors, just favorite voice actors. She voices Phil in Rugrats, but she voices so many little kids, and her little kid voice and how she breaks down how to do a little kid from 3 to 5 to 7 is a masterclass. I love that woman so much.
Hey man, that's some great choices and a great list. Now we came to the end of our show, unfortunately, heroes and villains. But before we let you go, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Heroes, man, we are giving away that Nintendo Switch to our one lucky supporter out there. And all you got to do to enter is like, comment, and subscribe. And the more you comment on the videos, the better your chances are to winning. At the milestone of 5K, we will announce a winner. But we're so close. Matter of fact, by the time this episode airs, it'll probably be like one of the first episodes of season 2. We're ending season 1 with a bang. So if you're watching this, thank you for all the support watching. We're coming to our 100th episode, which will be Christopher Smith. And for that episode right now, I will be in the next video. I will be announcing our giveaway winner. We have 2, not 1. Ooh. But we got 2 prints to give away with signatures on them. One is Mihawk from my guy John from One Piece. So we'll be giving away a Mihawk signature one. And the other one is, let me see. I gotta look, y'all. I'm sorry because I'm not familiar with this character. Y'all might be familiar with the character. I'm not too familiar with this character, but I've seen this character every damn where. And that's from Brian Beacock. That's this bear, this white and black bear with the red. What character is that, Darius? You know this character?
I want to say it's from I want to say Bleach.
I don't know where that character's from, but we do have that autograph print on the way right now by Brian. Big shout out to Brian and John for the prints. So we'll be giving away those as well. Now, before we let you go, Darius, do you have any upcoming projects or conventions that you're able to talk about?
Yes. You caught me. I was doing some research on the bear. I was like, where's that bear from? I think it might have said something Danganronpa. I don't know. Whatever. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, hopefully there's going to be some stuff happening at LA Comic-Con this year. You know, I hosted some panels last year. I always love to try to host a diversity in voice acting panel because I don't feel like I see many faces like myself or like my, peers who are people of color on stage as much as, we see our counterparts. So I always try to do a panel that focuses on us. And then I try to do a new generation of voice actors panel. And what that entails is similar to, the other panel, but the idea is that there are so many of my friends that are full-time working voice actors. But when I go to cons, I just see the same 10 people in this panel or that people swapped around because this person plays all these characters, which is great. And I'm not talking down on them. Those are our heroes. You know what I mean? That's why you got the podcast. Respect them. But there's like so many of us that also deserve that seat up there. Yeah. And so I want to give that opportunity to be like, whoa, hold on. Like, I have a friend who literally has voiced Pikachu, his voice over 100 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh!, who's in Honkai Star Rail, who's in Genshin Impact, she's done so many things. And I'm like, you need to be on these panels. Like, you are a full-time work. Your catalog is crazy. You are working just as much as he is and she is and she. I'm like, nah, I got to get my people up there. I have to get my people up there.
Hey, and it's important to get yourself up there as well and put yourself.
Yeah, and then I'm hosting, right?
Yeah,
and then I'm just gonna host it.
Because you deserve your flowers too, man. And this is what this pod is for. Because the voices that you create make us laugh, cry, etc., and bring out emotions in us, man. I want to give you your flowers yourself.
Thank you, man.
You are doing amazing things, and we will be following your career. Everybody watching, everybody affiliated with me, and everybody here at the Voice of the Heroes family.
Thank you, man.
Best, because I know You destined for great things.
Hey, man, listen,
And I
I'm
would
planting
love to
those
have
seeds,
you on the show
man.
again, man.
Of course, man. Hey, big things are going to come. I always say we planting seeds, man. And as long as we watering them, giving them sunlight, taking care of them, those are going to be some beautiful flowers, trees, bushes, whatever it's going to be. It's going to that money tree. It's going to be bountiful, man. And I'm just excited for my future because I know that I've planted those seeds, and in due time, I'm gonna have something.
I believe in you, and I'm sure everybody else here on the channel does. Thank you so much, Darius, for coming through. If you appreciated or love this episode with Darius Johnson, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And like always, don't forget to love yourself, pass that love on, and love others. And if nobody told you so, just know your boy love you. Signing out, Voice of the Heroes.
Sing it with me.